What it do, your boy YT Playboy J, and I'm back with another video. Yo, I know y'all probably looking at my screen like, yo, you already watched half of it. So, I was sitting here like, yo, I gotta watch it with my family. So, we gonna get into this video.
In the 2020
Michael
NBA
Jordan
playoffs,
is the
Jimmy
father
Butler
of Jimmy Butler.
unreal.
But I'm gonna
As
skip
we all
all this.
know,
I seen
he's
all
helped
this. I'm gonna skip some of it. I'm gonna get right here. So, all I'm gonna say is, oh, I forgot to say. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video and get me to 200 subs on the way. We almost there.
So he would not tarnish his public image and legacy.
So basically, I'm going to catch up a little bit. So basically, the whole thing is that Michael Jordan cheated on his girl and he paid the mother, Jimmy Butler's mother, to not say nothing and not mess up his reputation, because around this time, this when Michael Jordan was
that fact. That is
in
how
the
they
finals, making millions of dollars. And then you know how that go. You know how that go when a girl, you know how that go.
Butler was conceived. It was well
Girl
documented.
trying to suck
and
you
it's
dry and get all
reported
the money
that he
from
tried to
pause.
sneak into the hospital and that she received 23 roses while in the delivery room. 23 roses, of course, Michael Jordan's
23, yo, that's
23.
weird, yo.
Here we are. The seeds have been planted for the Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's son conspiracy. Now, with these two statements in mind, if you did not know, Jimmy Butler's dad was never a part of his life, as it has been said that Jimmy's father left his family when Jimmy was just a baby. It is also well documented that when he was 13, Jimmy's mom kicked him out of the house with the words, "I don't like the look of you, you gotta go."
What? What do you mean you don't like the look of me? I don't look like you? Or my dad? Okay.
Especially when you consider that at least publicly, it is not known who Jimmy Butler's father is. In fact, if you go and Google Jimmy Butler's real father,
He don't even pop up.
all you get is Michael Jordan conspiracies, which means this theory has at least a little credibility to start out with because we do not know Jimmy Butler's father at all. But really, the most promising piece of evidence we have is this picture. The picture that turns this
Bro,
from
their
an
nose
outlandish
look
claim
just
to
alike,
something
yo.
that is at least
Their
worth
eyes
looking
a little
into.
bit
Because
different,
as you
but
can
the
see,
nose look
when
just
both
alike,
Michael
yo.
Jordan and Jimmy Butler's faces are combined, they look practically like the same person. Going further here, when we look at Jeffrey and Marcus, Michael Jordan's confirmed sons, we see that Jimmy looks more like Michael than they do. On top of this, Mike was listed at 6'6", while Jimmy
He's
is
just an inch
listed
taller
at
than him.
6'7". A very similar height, while Jeffrey is just 6'4", and Marcus is just 6'1". Weird. And as for the entire story attached to this claim, well, that would make sense too. Michael Jordan was already with his then girlfriend and future wife, Juanita Vanoy, at the time that Jimmy would have been conceived, and Michael and Juanita already had a son, Jeffrey, in 1988. Seeing as Jimmy was born in 1989, it would make sense that if Michael Jordan did value his reputation and image over raising a child he had out of wedlock, along with the fact that he would want to keep his relationship with Juanita intact, Mike could have paid Jimmy's mother to not say anything, as at this point, Michael Jordan was a role model to millions, and having the label as an unfaithful cheater,
people would have stopped liking him,
well, that would massively damage his reputation, to say the least. As for the logistics here, as we'll call them, well, Jimmy Butler was born on September 14th, 1989. Babies generally take about 9 months to go from point A to point birth, so would this be possible? Well, Michael Jordan did indeed play the Houston Rockets early on in 1989. However, they played at Houston on February 3rd, which would mean Jimmy would have been born in just 7 months and 2 weeks. That would have made him a premature baby, and there is no proof that he was one. That has never been mentioned. However, remember the tip that Owens received. That tip stated that these events took place in 1988, which would make sense because if Jimmy was conceived in December, 9 months later, boom, he would be born in September. And would you look at that? The Chicago Bulls actually played the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas on December 3rd, 1988. Dallas is just a 3.5-hour drive to Houston, and it would make sense that Mike would want to go to Houston because of their reputation for having great clubs of some kind, I don't know. Also, the Bulls just so happened to have a 3-day break in between games after this Dallas game, so there was certainly time for Jordan to make his way to Dallas and possibly make Jimmy Butler in the process. So there we have it. That is the full story with all of the supposed evidence and hearsay attached to it. Which means now, comment down below what you believe, and as for me, I'll give you a second to pause and comment and Okay, it's time for my opinion. Personally, I think that this is almost definitely a false story, although it is an interesting concept.
False?
Now, the main reason why this story just does not make sense to me is that if Michael Jordan really was Jimmy Butler's dad, wouldn't his mom at least tell him? I know in this theory / rumor that she was paid to keep quiet, but it is difficult to think that a mother would really keep the identity of a child's father from him if she knew. With that said, Jimmy's mom did kick him out of the house and make him homeless at the age of 13, so maybe she is that type of
Wait, but it's some moms that don't even. I know it's kids out here that got famous athletes' dads, like, and that mom just don't tell them, and then the dad just keep paying them off. Like, it's some mothers that do that. So that's why I think that I feel as though it could be true, but it could not be true, because at the end of the day, if Michael Jordan was my father and my mom didn't tell me, but and I had like some type of father figure, but they said he didn't have one. So it was like, but it make kind of sense though how he was conceived when they went down to Dallas and they played in Houston and all that. That's crazy. Like that's what's making it so crazy to me. That's what making it crazy. But hey, maybe he really not his dad.
Silent when the payments stopped. That makes absolutely no sense at all. Wouldn't she just then threaten to expose Michael Jordan?
That is true.
He could still keep getting money. And if Jordan did not respond to those threats, well, she then could have actually exposed.
Or you know what he could have did? She could have been like, "You are the father." It's some girls that do that stuff. Swear you the father up and down and make you take care of him, and you're really not the father. So that could have been that one too.
Seems like it would get you more than just enough money to get by. Jimmy was raised in a very poor situation, and if his mom really was paid off, I think they would have had a nicer life, at least in terms of what money can buy you. Not to mention, Jimmy seems like a pretty smart guy. I'm sure he asked around when he was a child as to who his father is, and in all likelihood, he just doesn't want to be associated with a man who abandoned him when he was a baby. That makes perfect sense to me, and it fits in with Jimmy Butler's character. When it comes down to it, it is not only hard for me to believe, but impossible for me to think that Jimmy would look at Michael Jordan and the extremely rich lifestyle that Jordan had, then look at the horribly poor childhood he himself had to endure, and not have anything but probable hatred for Mike if he was Jimmy's father. That would be completely understandable, but here we see Jimmy and Jordan at Mike's camp. They are having a shooting competition here, and it certainly does not seem like Jimmy has any hard feelings towards Mike. It appears that they are perfectly fine. As for the fact that they look similar, well, there are whole websites dedicated to celebrity lookalikes, and those people are not related.
It's the eyes, yo. It's the eyes that throw me off, yo.
In all likelihood what this is too. So at the end of the day, while this would for sure be one of the craziest stories the NBA has ever seen, I also think that this is one of the biggest stretches of a conspiracy the NBA has. So with that in mind, I do want to give a huge shout out to Jimmy Butler and everything that man has achieved.
So shout out to Mike for this video. But listen, all I'm gonna say is, in my opinion, okay, maybe he's really not Michael Jordan's son, but it's just crazy how they look alike just a little bit. But it is people that you do got another twin out here, so you do look like other people. But it's just crazy, like, so why Jimmy Butler mother still don't come out and just tell him, like, oh, well, your father is this and that and the third. Or maybe he probably did. But this is a big story. At first, before I watched the video, I thought Michael Jordan was Jimmy Butler's dad. I thought about that. I was like, But after watching it, I didn't even know they did that little shoot around. That's the crazy thing. I didn't even know they did that little shoot around for real. So all I'm going to say is Jimmy Butler is not Michael Jordan's son. But that's my opinion. Let me know down in the description about your opinion. You already know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. Give me the 200 subscribers. And this will be up on Friday. So I'm going to post this on Friday. So, yeah. Y'all already know. 200. Road to 200. You dig what I'm saying? All right, and we out.
Get by. What it sound like a project or thing. They remember back so many times, felt like I was watching screen. This friend turned to a dope thing.